The Dow briefly broke the 26,000 mark for the first time today.
The Dow Jones Industrial average surged more than 200 points, which lifted the blue chip index above the 26,000 mark. For the first time, that was in earlier trading, but as we just saw, that was not what happened at the close. But what does this all mean? Moses Altsek is back with us from the UW School of Business.
Good to see you again.
Happy New Year, Moses. Good to see you.
Well, thank you. Good to be back.
So what does this mean? Because sometimes I think there's a disconnect between what the numbers show and what people feel in their pocketbooks.
Yeah, well, for starters, people are feeling a little excited and a little nervous at the same time when they see the stock market go up this high. And a lot of people are speculating whether this is a bubble that eventually is going to blow up, and whether this is based on anything sort of meaningful and actual, or whether it's just people's optimism that may not be based on actual figures.
The stock market used to be for the rich and elite, but now with 401k and things, a lot of people are invested in the stock market just, through your 401k.
Of course, a lot of people who don't know they're in the stock market are really in the stock market. They don't think of themselves as stock market investors. And, the truth is that there's a reason for this, tremendous, rapid increase of the stock market. Partly, if you look at corporate earnings, I mean, the results are really, really good. Business people are extremely optimistic. Even in our area, the first business economic survey that was done in Dane County showed tremendous optimism by business people for 2018. Quite frankly, the tax cuts that are mostly corporate tax cuts and less so individual tax cuts, those are, are really going to translate into higher corporate earnings in the future. So companies are excited about this. Investors are excited about the company's prospects, and that's why the stock market is going up. Not to mention, there's also FOMO. Fear of missing out, right? Mm-hmm. It's the same reason why you may go to the trendy restaurant or you may see the new movie. That's right, because you might miss out and your friends are, are reaping the benefits. So you want a part of that too.
Well, corporate tax cuts, corporate growth, optimism. Do you think President Trump is getting the credit he deserves for this? Well,
this is not all, President Trump. Certainly the tax cuts are all him, the corporate tax rate going down. This optimism and the positive performance by businesses, that's been going on for several years, in fact. The fact that it's been going on for so long is pretty great. Now, eventually, the stock market, as we all know, what goes up must come down at some point in time. But although people are very nervous about a correction, remember back in the day, in 1987, it dropped by 500 points in a single day.
Right.
Today, that would be equivalent to a 6,500 point drop in one day. And we bounced back. I mean, people thought, oh, that's the end of the world. And we bounced back. We did just fine. Look at us now. So even if there's a correction, don't worry about it. The only people who should be conservative about this are people whose perhaps retirement is imminent, and maybe they should not be overly exposed to stocks. But for everybody else, the stock market is usually a good place to be, and when it drops, just stick with it. Give it time. It's not for the short run. In the long run, you'll be well off.
What goes up must come down, must go up again.
You got it.
Moses, thanks for being with us.
Great
My
to
pleasure.
see you, Moses. Hope to see you soon.
Absolutely.